Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve one more important linked list problem, that is remove duplicates from sorted list. So in this problem we have given the head of a sorted linked list. So note that this is a sorted linked list and we have to delete all the nodes that have duplicate numbers, and we have to return the list with leaving only a distinct numbers. Okay, so for example, in this case you can see these are the nodes given 1 2 3 3 4 4 5. Okay, so now here you can see this 3 is 2 times, this 4 is 2 times, so we are going to remove that and we are just going to return the distinct elements from the list, that is 1 2 5. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. Okay, so first we are going to check if the head is null. So if the head is equal to null, in that case we are going to return the simple head, and if there is only one single element in the linked list, then that's only a distinct element only, so in that case we are just going to return the head. Okay, so here write like this: if head is equal to null, or head dot next is equal to null. Okay, so if head dot next is equal to null, that is single element, so single element is always distinct only, so in that case we are just going to return the head. Okay, so this is the first case, and after that we are going to just let's create one dummy node. Okay, so list node dummy is equal to new list node, and let's initialize it with 0. Okay, so now we have initialized it with 0, and just point this dummy next to the head of our linked list. Okay, dummy dot next is equal to head, and create one pointer list node cur to the dummy node. Okay, so list node cur is equal to dummy. Okay, so now after that we are going to run one while loop. Okay, so here let's say this is the example here. First we created one dummy node. Okay, 0, and 0 dummy is pointing to the head of the linked list, so 0 is pointing to 1, 1 is pointing to 2. I am talking about this example. Okay, so 1 is pointing to 2, 2 is pointing to 3, 3 is pointing to 3, and then 3 is pointing to 4, 4 is pointing to 4, and then in the end it is pointing to 5. Okay, so what we are going to check first, we are going to check, we have given this 0 as our cur. Okay, so note this point that we have given cur is equal to dummy. Okay, in the code we have defined cur is equal to dummy. Okay, so now first we are going to check if cur dot next is not equal to null and cur dot next is not equal to null. So we are going to run one while loop uh, until our cur dot next is not equal to null and our cur dot next is not equal to null. And in the while loop we are going to check if current dot next dot value, if this value is equal to this value. Okay, if current dot next dot value, or if current dot next value, that is this two. So if both are equal, then we are going to create one more variable name as value inside the loop, and give the value of this one, current dot next dot value. Okay, and after that we are going to run one more while loop until we are getting the same elements. So if we are getting the same values, we are going to skip that part, and in the end we are just going to point the distinct elements. Like in this case, first 0 is going to point to 1, 1 is going to point to 2, and then when these are same, so here they are same, so 2 is directly going to point to the 5 in the end. So I will write first code, then I will explain it. Okay, so you will get to know it better when after writing the code. Okay, so first what we need to do here, just write one while loop as I mentioned. While cur dot next is not equal to null and cur dot next is not equal to null. Okay, so while cur dot next, that is 0 is pointing to 1. Okay, so 1 is not equal to null, this node is also not equal to null. So in that case, inside the loop we are going to check if cur dot next dot value is equal to cur dot next dot value. Okay, so we are going to check this condition, that is if 1 is equal to 2. Okay, so inside that we are going to check. If that's not the case, then in the else we are just going to update cur as cur dot next. But in case if these two values, like in the example 1 is equal to 1, so these are same, so in that case inside this if condition we are going to initialize one variable int value as cur dot next dot val. Okay, so int value is given as this, and then in the inside of this if loop we are going to run one more while loop. So while this cur dot next is not equal to null first, and then we are going to check if cur dot next dot value is equal to value. Okay, so here in that case we are just going to update this pointer cur dot next as cur dot next dot next. Okay, and in the end we are just going to return one dummy dot next. Okay, so now let's try to understand this code, what's happening here. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, so here first we are going to check if head is equal to null, then we are just going to return head, that is null, or if our head is dot next is equal to null, so which means that there is only single element in the linked list, so it must be a distinct only. So in that case we are just going to return head, and after that we create one dummy node and initialize it with 0, and we point dummy dot next is equal to head. So 0 is pointing to the head of our linked list. Okay, so 0 here. Okay, and after that list node cur is equal to dummy, so 0, so cur is pointing to this 0, and then after that we in the while loop we are checking if cur dot next is not equal to null, so this is not equal to null, and this cur dot next is also not equal to null. Then in the while loop we are going to check if cur dot next dot value is equal to this value, so 1 is equal to 2, no, so we are going to run this loop, and cur is pointed to cur dot next now. Okay, which means 0 cur, which means our cur is 1 now, cur is 1 now. Okay, now again we are going to check while cur dot next is not equal to null, or cur dot next not equal to, so 2 is not equal to null, 3 is not equal to null, then inside that we are going to check if condition, if 2 is equal to 3, so that's a false case, so again cur is updated, so cur is now pointing to 2. Okay, cur is pointing to 2, and after that we are again going to check if cur dot next is not equal to null and cur dot next is not equal to, that is 3 is not equal to null, true, 3 is not equal to null, that is also true. So in the inside of while loop we are going to run if condition, if cur dot next dot value is this, so yes, now 3 is equal to this 3, right, true. So now we are going to update this int value is cur dot next dot value, so our value becomes here 3. Okay, now when value is 3, then we are going to run this while loop until when while cur dot next is not equal to null, so cur was 2 here, so 2 dot next, that is 3, is not equal to null, true, and cur dot next dot value is equal to this value, Okay, so yes, so cur that is 2 dot next that is 3 dot value is 3, so 3 is equal to 3. Yes, that's the true condition. So we are going to update cur dot next as cur dot next dot next. So cur dot next here, so cur is 2, 2 dot next is pointing to now 2 dot next dot next, so we break this connection. So now what happens, our list becomes like this, we remove this 3. Okay, again we are going to run this while loop. While cur dot next is not equal to null, cur was 2 only, so that is true, and then cur dot next dot value is equal to 3, so that's the case true. Cur dot next dot value, that is 2 dot next dot value, is equal to 3 only. Okay, so now cur dot next is pointing to this 4, so we break this, remove this node as well. So now 2 is pointing to 4. Okay, so now we are going to again run this while loop. While cur dot next is not equal to null, yes, 4 is not equal to null, and then cur dot next dot value is equal to value, no, 4 is not equal to 3, so we are not going to run it. Okay, so now again we are going to check this while loop. Okay, so while cur dot next is not equal to null, that is this 4. Cur dot next is while cur dot next is not equal to null, that is this 4, and this 4 is not equal to null. So again we are going to check if cur dot next dot value is equal to cur dot next dot value. So yes, that's a true condition, 4 is equal to 4. So again in the same way, if first we are going to point this 2 to this second 4, we are going to break this, and again we are going to break this 4 as well, and in the end this is going to be our linked list. Okay, so in the end we are just returning dummy dot next, that is elements from here 1 to 5. Okay, so this is going to be our result. Okay, so let me try to run this code. So yeah, our test cases has been passed here, so let me try to submit it. So yeah, our solution is accepted and it beats 100% of users with Java. So I hope that you are able to understand this code. Please hit like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Keep practicing and keep coding.